Hey my reptile keepers, hope you're doing great. It's Louis from Xclusive Reptiles and today we're going to do a video about the Hermanni boettgeri.
Welcome to Xclusive Reptiles.
Hermanni boettgeri, it's one of the famous tortoises that we can put in the garden in Belgium, in Holland, in Germany. Why this species in the garden all the year? Because it's the stronger species that we have at the moment about the climatic condition that we have in those countries. I explained me. You know, the Hermanni boettgeri don't live in Belgium or Holland or Germany. They are acclimated in. So it's the reason we recommend, if you want to take one day or if you have already tortoise at home, to take the species Hermanni boettgeri. Even the Hermanni, another subspecies, are more difficult to keep outside all the year because they live in much dry area and they are really sensible to the humidity also. So let's do it for the explication of those wonderful tortoises that I got just here. I'm going to begin the explication with what kind of specimen I have here. I'm going to explain it. So, the small guy that we have just here, it's a male Hermanni boettgeri. So, as you can see, the male is really small compared to females. Those two are female, classic Hermanni boettgeri. But this one is really a classic one. It's a female Hermanni boettgeri, around 18-20 centimeters of plastron. Plastron is this part of the tortoise, and the shell is this part, the dossier. This specimen weighs around 1.5 kg and measures around 20 centimeters plastron. But this specimen, guys, it's really special. Why? Because it's an Hermanni boettgeri, but it's a XXL one. As you can see, she is really much bigger than this one. She is really much larger. The weight of the tortoise is also really more big. Sometimes in a group, you know, we have one big guy, one small guy, and here we got it, a normal female and one really big female. So the XXL female Hermanni boettgeri. The particularity of the reptile is also to grow all the life. It's the reason that they continue to shed it for a snake, a tortoise, a chameleon, whatever. But they grow millimeter by millimeter when they arrive to the adult age. Okay? For those kind of tortoise, the adult age is 11-12 years old. So you can't reproduce them before, for a female 11-12 years, and for a male they can still breed at 6 years old. There is already some study that show us that a male can breed at 2 to 3 years, depend what's the maintain of it, which size you have it, which weight, but it's proof that it's possible already at 3 years old, so really young. For a group, we advise all the time one male for minimum 3 females. Because the male can be aggressive, you know, he can choose 1-2 female to reproduce, but when you give them 3, for him it's a stimulation, and so he can go to that way or that way, and like that the female have less stress and can live them life tranquilo. About the maintain for this tortoise, I feed them every day, every morning day. I put the food where there is the most light spot. So I check on the morning to my enclosure where the sun put the light on the morning, and I feed each time to the same area because, you know, the tortoise have a memory food and they like when it's on the same place. On the nature, they don't really like that because, you know, they pass 80 to 90% of the time to research food. But here in the breeding center, We try that all animals, even if they are maybe less smarter, so they don't going to find all the time the good food or the big area with the nice food for them. So we give them for them, and we manage that all of the specimen eat this kind of food and not all the time looking for. We place it, this thing to looking for. For example, we take some nice food that they like, for example, fruits, one time every 10 days. Be careful, because more food's not good for them. And we place the fruits behind something or on top something. They have to climb a bit, or it's a good training for them. Also, we think that the tortoise don't feel especially on the shell or not so good, but I promise you they feel a lot. When I do that, when I pass my hand, look the head of the tortoise. She knows that I touch her and she like it. Why? Because all the line, the gross line that we can see on each scute, for example, here on this female, I take one scute here. This scute give line every 2-3 months, depend on how grows the animals. We call it the growth line. And when you have new growth line, you can see, for example, here on this part of the shell, that it's more bright, more sunny, more yellow. Is a new growth line. At this moment, guys, you have to think that the tortoise, I have some specimens, they feel so much when we touch them on the shell that they do like this with the shell for tell you continue and do it more, please. So it's really nice because it's an interesting animals about this. What can I tell you also about the food? We think usually that we can give them lettuce, tomato, so usually things that we have to buy to shop. But I promise you it's not the good food. Why? Because in the nature, the tortoise, as I told you, pass the time to search the food. And which kind of food? I call them the bad grass. What's the bad grass? As you can see now, the tortoise eat something. They eat the truffle. The truffle is this part of the grass. And the truffle, they really like it. So you can give them truffle, dandelions, plantain, lucerne, many bad grass, like I explained it to them, 90%. 90%. So it's really a lot. It's near all. And the rest of the 10%, you can give them simply fruits. What kind of fruit? Me, I advise the fig de Barbarie. It's simply the most quality fruits that you can give to those tortoises. Why? Because it's a fruit with a lot of calcium in. Just to give you a small report between the fruits of la fig de Barbarie and another fruit, for example, the banana. The fig de Barbarie, to imaginate you on 0 to 100, she is at 95. Another fruit like pear, apple and whatever, they are at 3, 4, 5. So it's really much better, guys, to give the fig de Barbarie. You can give them with the skin because there is a strong skin of this fruit with some spin of like a cactus, because the fig de Barbarie is from a cactus, the Ficus opuntia indica. Here to the breeding center, we grow some clatode for the tortoise to give them, because we can give the fruits, but we can give also the clatode. The clatode is the leaves of the cactus. We're going to show you as another video. It would be better to explain it and show you how to do and how to grow up also some cactus, because it's possible to do at your home. Other things important, guys, also for this kind of tortoise, They are Mediterranean tortoise, so they need an hibernation. Now we arrive slowly to the period of hibernation. It's in 1 to 2 months, so around November, they're going to relented the digestive system and the moving area, looking for food, because the temperature are really much down, and they're going to do and to begin an hibernation for the adult animals here 5 months. So it's quite long, but in those 5 months they don't eat, they don't drink, but they move. We don't think they don't move, but they move. How they move? Because normally, you know, when they do the hibernation, they are in the soil, in the ground. Where they are depends the temperature. For example, the best temperature to hibernate the tortoise, it's 6.5 degrees. It's a really good temperature because they don't lose any weight, and it's a good temperature for they stay calm and they don't move too much, because more moving, more movement, more energy you depends and weight you lose. So not so good in the hibernation because they don't continue to eat, so they don't have any more apport of energy. So it's important for them to do the hibernation. Why? For the longevity, you have longer life. For the reproduction, when the specimen go out of hibernation, the male want to reproduce. When you don't do that, they don't want specially reproduce. They don't understand the season, okay? And also just for the healthier of the tortoise, I think it's important. And also, guys, that's true, for have a shell really smooth like this, to have shell like this, you need to give them the good food, good environment, and hibernation, because it's slow growth. Need, as I told you, to be adult at 10, 12, 15 years old for the Hermanni boettgeri. We're going to do another video for the exotic tortoise to explain you how we do here to the breeding center and to present you maybe some really nice species. I'm going to do just a small aparté guide to show you what's the difference between a male and a female, because I have usually this question that's come back. We send me a lot of pictures about that, but I think you can do also yourself. Of course, you can ask me in the end or in the beginning to have a confirmation, but that could be a good exercise for you also. So as you can see, guys, I'm going to take, so this is the male, as I told you. So the male, as you can see, is much smaller, that's true. But if you have specimen of same size, you know, when they grow and you are like, I don't know if I have a female, if I have a male, maybe it's this, maybe it's those, maybe it's both, we don't know. So I show you guys, here we got a really large tail, oh, and a really long tail also, so it's large and long. And this female, as you can see, guys, it's small and short. It's really short and small. Look the difference. This is a young male of 8 years old. So we can see already really good the difference with a female adult. She have more than 10 years old. Okay, no problem. You know what she did just now? Like with the paws and the head? It's a phenomenon of vriance. What's the phenomenon of vriance? Sorry, in French, but we're going to do a small translate on the bottom. The vriance is when the tortoise is on the back. Look, she did again. It's a stimulation of the shell to help the tortoise to turn themselves. And look, look, look. It's a really good help for her. I don't have to help her. She can do it herself because she learned it when she was babies. And I'm going, perfect, good girl. And I'm going to show you an example of babies. So what I advise to keep the babies or the subadult together, and in the nature they are alone. I'm going to explain you and I'm going to show you. Let's show it.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay guys, now we took the subadult specimen just to show you the difference of the size. So as you can see, the others was really bigger than my hand, and this subadult, it's a bit smaller than my hand. They are already really strong with a strong plastron, okay? We're going to show you that on the babies, they are really much soft. So as you can see, this is a really nice yellow one that we have here in the breeding center. And just a small test for you guys. Is it a female or a male, this one? So as you can see, the tail is short. The tail is not long, okay? It's really a small tail, short tail. It's a female. Second one. Exactly, guys, female. As you can see, so short tail, not long tail. It's a bit white here. We can ask each other, what is it? It's simply urethra, like the birds have it. So there is no stress about it. And the last one, maybe I took you a male to show you an example. Tell me what happened. Oh, male? No. We got also a female, short, not long, so would be a female for me. As you can see, guys, on the subadult specimen, we can see a lot of line on the shell. Here, 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 you know, this is a scute. And on the scute, you have different line. They are the gross line. And a good example of a subadult, it's the yellow spot that give you a line here. It's the sign that the tortoise grows really well. We got also this line here, and in function of the period of the year and how grows the tortoise, it can be more marked or less marked. That was for the subadult, guys. Now we're going to show you the baby.
One eternity later.
Okay guys, and just to show you a last example of the small sizes of the tortoise that we can have, we're going to show you here the babies. We got it. So the babies, the most colored are the babies have already 1 year and already 1 hibernation. So as you can see, for example, those two babies are from same year, a bit different size, but not so much, because you know in one same group you can have small difference of size. Those babies are already shipped, so there is inside the pouch a microchip. And the Hermanni boettgeri have also a CITES, so the Convention Washington, that protect the animals and protect also yourself, because you need this paper with the tortoise and she needed to be microchipped for the identification of the specimen and to protect the species. That's why. And I'm going to show you guys difference with a baby of the year. This is, for example, a baby of the year. Born 3 weeks ago. So when they are born, when they hatch, they have the size of the €2 piece that we have on the money. So guys, to show you a difference with a baby of 1 year, this is 1 year difference. So you see that this one is more brown, not so yellow, not so black spot. It's become, the color will become with the age, so with the food and with the light. It's going to be really much colored as this one, for example. And just to show you a few of them of the year, you know, you can have some lighter, some darker. They are really cute. And as you can see, on the bellies, on the plastron, it is really, really, really soft. because it's not yet really calcificated. It needs to be calcificated year by year. So you see, it's really soft. I don't want to too much disturb them, so I don't want... that's a good example here, guys. I'm going to show you. This is an example of a babies hatched maybe 1 week ago. As you can see, the plastron have here a hole with, as the child have to the humans, the umbilical cordon to give the food for the tortoise. It's important to, when the tortoise hatch, to let them for minimum 24 hours in the incubator to give them the time to absorb it, the Vitlin bag. And this is the rest of the Vitlin bag that going to be cicatrized after really well, really perfect, as for example, voila, this baby, okay? We can't see anything, just a little bit. Here, for example, a point, you see a small point there. It was the mark of the same things of this one, okay? So we give just few weeks for this one, have time to be like this, and we give just few, 1 year, so to those ones to be like this. 1 year old, with one hibernation and with perfect, as you can see, shell, really smooth shell. The smoother shell it is, better the tortoise will be, because a shell smooth is a sign of a good maintenance of the tortoise. If you have a pyramidal shell, like a Toblerone, it's not good, because it's a sign that the tortoise has maybe too much protein, not the good food alimentation adapted to herself, and maybe too much food, so too much sugar, and also maybe not hibernated, so not so good for the tortoise. Hey, here we got my Pablito. Pablito! This wonderful dog that protects every day all the tortoise. That's a really good dog. And if you have any dog, you know, like this, me, I have a big dog. When he was small, it wasn't so easy, you know, for the tortoise, because he was a stress for them. We think that he can maybe eat them. That's prejudice. Why? Because you have to train your dog to be friendly with your tortoise. And now the dog go in each enclosure to do the verification. On the morning, I open the door, or he's already outside, and he go in each enclosure, see each tortoise, just to smell it and see if it's okay. Don't bite, don't stress, don't turn over it. It's the reason that I advise you, if you have a dog, or can be maybe not good stimulation for your tortoise, you have to turn over the balance and you have to do a good stimulation for your animal. Now guys, the video going to be finished. Thank you very much to watch it. Don't forget to put a big like, a share, a comment, and whatever you want. It was with pleasure that I explained those information. If you have any other question, don't hesitate just to send me a message direct or write me below in comment of this video. It would be a pleasure. And if you have any other species or any other tortoise that you ask also a question yourself, don't hesitate to ask it, please. It was Louis from Xclusive Reptiles. See you soon.